Hi everyone, my name is Arjen. I'm from San Jose, California. I graduated in 2020 from the University of California, Berkeley with a major in human biology. I was in a few extracurriculars during my time in undergrad. I danced for 2 years. I was really involved with the Filipino community on campus, but by far the most memorable moments of my predental path were the 3 years that I spent with the Cal Predental Society, two of which I spent on the officer board. I first became interested in dentistry like a lot of people did. I had a really good dentist in my hometown. He's really good. I worked with him for my braces and my cleanings, and I just really enjoyed the experience that I had there. I also have a lot of family that work in healthcare, and so that really put me into the field a lot while I was growing up. I had a lot of exposure to biology and working in health, and so I've always been interested in that regard. In undergrad, I attended a lot of lectures from students and faculty at different dental schools and practicing dentists as well, who really told me the ins and outs about school and career and what dentistry entails, and that really sold me on, dentistry as a career, providing a service for people that provides healing and confidence to patients. And that was something that I really wanted in my life going forward. And toward the end of my undergraduate career, I actually worked as a dental assistant for 2.5 years. And so seeing myself in that space, seeing the day to day as far as, going over treatment options with patients, running a clinic, speaking with a dentist there, really helped put me in the mindset of what I wanted to do in my life as far as being a practitioner. And that really set the scene for what I wanted to do as far as dentistry goes. As far as studying for my DAT, I almost exclusively used DAT Bootcamp and DAT Destroyer. I actually had my DAT scheduled for February of junior year, after what was supposed to be a month and a half of studying over Christmas break. However, due to scheduling issues and just a really busy junior year, I took a total of 3 months to study for the exam. Definitely don't recommend doing that if you can help it. 1.5 to 1 month, I think, is perfect. I felt that after the second month, I started to forget a lot of things that I had learned earlier in the 3 month stretch. And so I think, keeping it to 1.5 months is a good cap. Um, Secondly, I feel that if you are not a biology or chemistry or bioscience major, you have nothing to worry about, especially if you use DAT Bootcamp or even Kaplan or Cliff Notes or any really DAT resource, because they will teach you all the science you need and nothing more. So that is a concern. I can totally say it's not that big a deal. Honestly, I'm not an admissions officer, nor do I know what my peers brought to the table during my cycle, so I don't really feel qualified answering the question of what I felt set me apart from the crowd, if you know what I'm saying. However, in the application, I did try to show my own personality as far as my missions, being a dental student and a future practitioner. In my personal statement, I mentioned that one of my goals is to work with the immigrant communities of my hometown. So just through things like that and kind of detailing my experiences at Berkeley as for my extracurriculars and my volunteering, that was my way of putting my own personality and motivations into a document of just grades and numbers. And in that sense, that's how I felt I was best able to stand out, not as a particularly high achieving individual, but someone who has a unique kind of motivation and purpose as far as going into dental school goes. All right, so the interview. I applied in July and I got the interview invitation in November. And because it was on Zoom and because we were all doing online interviews, I actually got separate days for my orientation and my interview. So for BU, um, my orientation was actually a week before my formal interview, which was good because it gave me a lot of talking points about the school. The presentation shared what the mission statement was, what kind of programs were there, and it gave me a lot of had it spurred a lot of questions that I had about the school. that helped me in my interview. And so I actually didn't really get to meet a lot of these students in my cycle because it was mostly just faculty and the dean presenting, but that was fine. The actual interview was great. It was just one-on-one with a faculty member, closed file, I believe, and it felt really comfortable. I mean, the standard interview questions were there. You know, why are you doing dentistry? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? That sort of thing. But after, you know, the expected questions, so to speak, we really just shared a conversation. You know, I asked about the school. I asked about, you know, his practice, and it felt very comfortable just speaking with his faculty about the nature of dentistry and all that. And I ended up coming out of it feeling pretty okay about it. I did prepare a little bit for the interview, like I did with all of my interviews, but it didn't feel like one that I was underprepared for. And I think that was a really good sign, number one. And number two is that I just felt really comfortable speaking with this professor. You know, it was obviously still like a faculty member. There were stakes involved, but it really felt like we were having a conversation as opposed to an interview. And so that was a really good thing that I really liked about BU's interview process. And I think, you know, it panned out well in the end because I'm here. What tips would you give for the interview process? This is a really good question, but I feel like I don't have very unique answers because number one, I gotta say, is be yourself. Do your research. Know the school that you're applying to. Is nothing. There's no secret tactics here. You gotta know the school. You gotta put out your personality in the interview. You can bring up stories that help you round you out as a person that aren't listed on your application. Because really the interview is for your personality and not your achievements. You know, no one wants to talk to a person who just lists their resume in 30 seconds, right? So really just try to let out your personality shine, like who you're going to be as a dentist, as a practitioner, who your patients will see when they come to you for treatment. You know, they're not going to see a laundry list of what publications you did or what grades you got. They want to see a person. And so, again, be yourself, have interesting stories about you, have interesting passions that you want to share with your interviewer. That'll help you stand out in the best way possible, I think. All right. So when I submitted my application, I submitted it to 10 schools, and I think 4 or 5 of them were actually in California. Being from California and having gone to school in California, my immediate intention was to continue going to school at a California dental school. Moving to the East Coast or New England was not on my to-do list at all. However, my hometown dentist was a BU alumni, and so he really encouraged me to apply. He loved the school, he loved the city, and he really wanted me to at least try to get in. And so I thought, why not? I'll apply there. Got an offer in December, and I haven't really looked back. I love the school. It's a very collaborative environment. It feels overwhelming at times, but out of my class of 115, every single one of them is just really supportive of each other's goals. I feel like we all understand that we're here for a common purpose, and it really feels that we're all in it together, just as a class. And that goes for faculty as well. It really feels that they're really receptive to what we have to say as far as the program goes. Anytime that there's issues with scheduling or things like that, they're open to at least having the conversation of accommodating whatever we feel is necessary. And so there's a very open line of communication between student and faculty that I believe will continue for my 4 years, it looks like. And so I enjoy it. Boston's a great city to be in. BU's a great school to be in. It's been great, you know. What was the transition like? So I think, personally, taking the gap year helped a lot. I applied right after senior year, and so I had a little bit of a gap year to kind of reflect on what skills and abilities I needed to improve upon as a student. So I found some books on productivity, workflow management, habit forming, that sort of thing, just to kind of, while not in school, keep that student mindset going. I like, try to learn new things during my time just to keep my mind busy, so to speak. And I think that really helped make the transition easier once I got back into the school environment once again. And I did get into the school environment so quick because it was a lot of information. The course schedule in dental school is maybe 3 times as busy as anything I did in undergrad. And so I really felt like doing that research beforehand, doing that soul searching as far as what I was good at and what I needed to improve on as a student really helped, make that transition a lot faster as far as figuring out what I needed to do to tackle this new challenge that is the onslaught of dental school curriculum. And so it was a little overwhelming, but by far the most difficult part is not the material itself, because the professors are great. The material is, digestible to put in the work. It's the time management that really is paramount, I think, in success in dental school. I was never a crammer in undergrad, and so far I've not had to do that here in dental school to a crazy degree. And so I really do feel that building on those skills while in my gap here, while not having the pressure of school upon me, helped me to apply those skills better once I actually did have to in dental school. So my day starts at around 6:45 or 7. And after I shower and brush my teeth and all that, I'll try to take a quick walk or something, get the blood flowing. Then I'll come back for a coffee and then start my day of school. Most days we'll have about 5 to 6 hours of class, sometimes 7. However, something that I think that has helped me a lot personally is actually deviating from that schedule of classes very drastically sometimes. My school is fortunate enough to have all our lectures recorded, and so I choose to watch them all from home at my leisure. I keep a planner that has all my lectures scheduled for the month, and I just schedule them on my own time, keep my own timetable as far as classes go. And this way I have a lot of more autonomy as far as what lectures I watch. I can focus on the physiology exam that's coming up rather than take the time to study material for the anatomy exam that might be coming up much later in the month. And so because most of my first year is didactic courses, I spend maybe 8 hours a day here at my desk, watching lectures or studying the flashcards that I make. I have to take breaks, so I'll cook, I'll watch a little bit of Netflix, and if I'm too tired to study around dinner time, I'll go out to dinner with my friends or my girlfriend when the day is over. Try to schedule some things on the weekends, but things get busy sometimes. But breaks are very important. Breaks are very productive, kind of intuitively, and so I try to take them when I can. And when that happens, I'll go out to see the city. I'll go out to see new things, try new restaurants, that sort of thing. That way, when Monday comes, I'm refreshed once again to go back to my work with a new eye and a new fresh take on the school. I'll say what makes me most excited about going to my school is honestly just the people that make it the community that it is. Like I've said before, BU is such a collaborative, supporting and encouraging community that I feel I can really learn from. Everyone's so open to kind of learning from each other and teaching things to each other. It's a really good spot to be a student. So just knowing that whoever I talk to will be supportive of my own goals and of the class's goals and of the school's overarching goals, that's what makes me most excited about attending BU. There's never been a time that I've felt ostracized or antagonized for the things that I want to do as far as my career. And I think that's what makes BU really special, and that's why I am proud to be you. My biggest advice to any pre-dent is to really, truly enjoy the process. It's hard to be a pre-dent. It's a very long and arduous process to get your requirements in, score well in undergrad, and finally submit your application. But it really will be the hardest thing that you do. It's made so much easier to finish the application and send yourself on your way to dental school when you take the time every now and then to appreciate what sacrifices you're making, how hard you've worked to get to this point, all the time you spent, doing what you needed to do to get to where you are today. And it's this type of introspection and kind of self-reflection of what we've done, with the people that have helped us get to this point, and really appreciating all the little things in life that have brought us to this point, that help us to continue searching for the best versions of ourselves that we want to be. And so this kind of mentality, I feel like, of working hard and enjoying the work to improve upon ourselves compounds upon itself, for years to come, and helps us to become the best clinicians, professionals, whatever we want to do in life that we want to be. All right, I think that's it for me. Thank you to FutureDDS for having me on here. Really enjoyed having this introspective, and I hope this has helped anyone watching this. I'll probably send this to Nick, but my email is at amaquino@bu.edu. If anyone has any questions, happen to answer them. And again, thank you so much for having me. This has been great. Good luck to anyone out there.